Welcome to the very first episode of Kaiju Customs in 2018. Today we're repainting the Ultraman X DX Zaigorg figure. Before we begin, I just want to let everyone know that this first episode of the new year will be bringing about some new changes to the style in which these videos are made. Rather than going about these in a super fast time-lapse type of video where you can only see the custom being made from a distance at breakneck speeds, I've decided to try for a closer montage type of video where you can clearly see the figure being transformed at a normal speed through various different shots. This is my first attempt at changing the style like this, so obviously much of the formula is yet to be perfected, and there are a lot of problems that I ran into, but let me know if you guys prefer this over the original style or not. Now let's begin the customization of Zaigorg. Firstly, I mixed a dark crimson red paint with some black in order to create a much darker, almost bloody looking shade of red to repaint various parts of the Zaigorg figure, including the spikes on his back, his mace hand, toes, claws, horns, tail, chest, and various crevices throughout his body. I chose to begin with these because a lot of these areas are either very small or narrow, so I painted these first so that I would not have to worry about it leaking onto the blue areas later on, once those were repainted, and this allowed me to be a bit sloppy with the red areas and saved a bit of time in the end. Some areas did wind up being painted red after we repainted the main body blue, but we'll get to that very soon. After that was finished, I began to work on the fine detailing of the chest area. Using a mixture of burnt sienna and black, I made an extremely dark, slightly thinned paint to be used to detail the numerous cracks and ridges on Zaigorg's chest. I used a very fine-tipped brush and some steady maneuvering to make sure that the shading and detailing looked the way that I wanted it to. After that, I began work on repainting the main body of Zaigorg. Unfortunately, I ran into an issue where I actually had a lot less of the particular shade of blue that I had wanted to use originally than I hoped, leading me to have to improvise a little bit with some other shades of blue to create a look sort of similar to what I had in mind. Overall, the final product wound up with a bit of a darker blue than I would have liked, and with a bit less shading and variety due to my lack of foresight on how much paint I actually had left. I also did not get to film all of this on my camera due to the battery dying without my realizing it, so you'll have to check it out during the final showcase. I used the same red mixture I did earlier to do a lot more detailing and defining of the cracks and ridges on Zaigorg's legs and upper body with the same brush used for the chest detailing. Nearly all of these crevices and ridges were unpainted on the original figure, so I wanted to ensure that I did the suit justice and detailed the figure as much as possible to properly represent the suit. Finally, I did some final detailing by painting the remaining areas on the side of Zaigorg's body that were originally unpainted yellow, and used a fine-tipped black Sharpie to fill in the areas around Zaigorg's pupils. Also, I painted the interior of Zaigorg's mouth black and touched up his teeth a little bit. And that finished off Zaigorg. Now let's quickly compare the original figure to what the final customization looks like. Now as you take a closer look at the final product, I'll share my thoughts on the custom with you guys. Overall, I'm satisfied with how Zaigorg came out. I certainly believe it's an improvement over the original figure and will definitely be of great use in a future project I have planned for him. I do wish though that I realized that I was shorter on blue paint than I expected before I began the custom, and because of the short time I had to get this video ready for release, I wasn't able to wait for more paint to be delivered. But despite that, I'm still happy with the end product, and I hope to get some criticism regarding the new format of these videos as well from you. Until next time guys, take care.